What's happening, everyone? Courier666 here. Today I'm in the guild hall for the Xbox North American servers Gang of Richards to bring you a summarized guide and breakdown for crafting in the Elder Scrolls Online in 2024. Crafting is something I suggest every player gets into. There are 7 crafting professions: Alchemy, Blacksmithing, Clothing, Enchanting, Jewelry Crafting, Provisioning, and Woodworking. All of these can affect gameplay or how you tackle the crafting system in Elder Scrolls Online. Getting right into it, at the blacksmithing station, for example, you have the refine option, which will allow you to take raw materials and turn them into finished materials for further use. You have the creation tab, which, as the name suggests, will allow you to make standard or set gear pieces from scratch utilizing those materials. Deconstruction will allow you to get materials back from the world drop or crafted gear you no longer have a use for. Improvement will allow you to upgrade the gear quality from normal to fine, superior to epic, or even legendary, sometimes even associated by their colors of white, green, blue, purple, and yellow. Research will allow you to learn new traits for armor and weapons and has a variety of uses and implementations. Probably the reason that it's stressed the most is because of its immediate and far-reaching effects on the gameplay of ESO. One such example is the Creation tab, where you can create standard gear. Or you can go a step further. With traits researched, you can access the attunable crafting stations and some of their gear sets, such as Highland Sentinel will require 5 traits on each gear piece that you are trying to craft. Meaning, whether that's sturdy, impenetrable, reinforced, well-fitted, training, infused, invigorating, divines, or nirnhoned. That's up to you. Any 5 to create one piece of gear, and that goes for each piece of gear, as the same can be said further on. The next use and viability of research in ESO is the transmute station, with transmuting as the first option. In ESO, transmuting is taking a gear piece and its existing trait to then swap it for whatever trait the user desires. But it also has to be a researched trait. Building from that, and even better, is the option to reconstruct gear pieces that have been collected in your Set Items tab under the Collections. It is also arguably cheaper than transmuting, as transmuting requires 50 gems to change the trait of said item, versus recreating an item can change or vary depending on how many you have collected in that set. I can't argue with people's reasoning for telling you and stressing the importance of researching in ESO with those reasons behind them. Since we've reviewed some of the equipment professions, let's take a look at some of the consumable professions, such as provisioning, alchemy, and enchanting. With provisioning, you'll need to learn recipes of varying quality and different styles, as you will, with green vegetable dishes for some food options, or blue for savories. And then you have your purples and golds. Drinks work in the same way. You can find recipes in urns, cabinets, trunks, and you can even earn them from certain limited time events run in the game. Moving on to alchemy, you'll need to have different solvents and reagents in order to formulate or create potions or poisons. It will take 1 solvent and at least 2, if not 3, reagents in order to create a potion or poison. Enchanting will differ vastly from that of Skyrim. With enchanting in ESO, you'll need to use 1 potency rune, 1 essence rune, and 1 aspect rune in order to create glyphs to enhance or enchant your weapons or armor. Enchanting isn't too difficult, as it only requires the translation of the runes. Now that will require skill points, and so you'll need to level up the ability. Speaking of leveling up can happen in a variety of ways, either by crafting, doing daily CraftingRITs, deconstructing gear, or deconstructing any of the enchantments or items such as those. This isn't like Skyrim, and you can't just grind it out. I mean, you can, but it's not really worth your time or the materials you'd put into it. There are plenty of websites and other creators who have covered this subject, with some skills taking no more than 10 to 20 minutes to reach level 50. Having reviewed some of the workbenches in ESO, let's go over some of the skill lines. Clothing, for instance, has passive abilities that are similar and relative to the blacksmithing, jewelry, and woodworking professions. The top option here Tailoring in this instance will allow you to use and gather that tier of materials in the world and in your daily crafting writs. Keen Eye will allow you to see raw materials in the world a little bit further away and give them a glowing aura. The Hireling passive, something I greatly enjoy, is free materials delivered to your mailbox on a daily basis. Unraveling is one of the extraction skills. It will increase your chance of additional materials for improvements and trait items. Stitching, a researching passive, will reduce the research time and add more slots for researching, to a maximum of 3 at one time. And finally, the Expertise, which will allow you to save on your improvement materials such as the greens, the blues, the purples, and the yellows required to upgrade your gear to the next quality level. Speaking on crafting writs, you'll see that your daily crafting writs are typically on a bulletin board with a blue daily arrow or repeatable quest marker above them. Do these each day to net yourself more materials and rewards such as ornate, intricate, and even master crafting writs. If you do happen across a master crafting writ, you'll need to turn it in at your alliance capital to the Master Crafting Writ Exchange. That's Eldenroot, Mournhold, and Wayrest. With the addition of the Gold Road chapter and scribing, you'll be able to net at least one class script per day for turning in a master crafting writ. All this in mind, I'll leave you with a final tip. Designate a crafting main. You'll use this character to learn your motifs and research your 9 traits on all your equipment. The reason for this is to save time and money so that you're not distributing motifs across all of your characters. Not to say to not have other characters doing crafting daily writs, but you only need one to learn the motifs and do the research to create all the gear for everything you would need in ESO. I hope you found this video helpful. This is Courier666. Thanks for watching. See you next time.